Hey, what's going on guys? Harbs here, and in this video we're going to be covering how to get this animated gradient background in your stream in just a few quick, easy steps with nothing overly complicated or downloading any external programs. Stay tuned. So before we begin actually digging into how to do this, I want to let you know that there's three main ways to customize how this animated border looks. So you could customize the color and the amount of colors. That's one. Number two, you could adjust the angle that it comes at. So right now this is going from left to right. I can have it come at an angle or whatever you want. And then the third one is the time it takes for it to transition from one color to the next color. So this right now I have it going, I believe, uh, within 4 seconds. You could have it really, really long, so it takes a lot longer for the colors to transition into each other. But we're going to get into that right now. So there's a million different ways of achieving what we're trying to do here with this animated border. You could use a video, but what I like to do is, since I work in front end on the web, I like to actually use that and incorporate it in my stream. So we're going to need two files. I'll include a download link where you could download it. It's probably going to be on my website under a resource as a zip file. But if you guys want to kind of copy this and paste this out, if you don't want to download anything, you can feel free to do that as well. But essentially, just so you guys aren't confused when you do download it, there's an index.html file, which is just a very normal file that just has some code that can be pulled in from this second file, style.css. So this file right here uses this file. I know I said it's easy, and it is. All you have to do is just customize these few things over here. Also, just to note, I'm using a fancy editor. If you don't feel comfortable using a fancy editor or you don't have one, that's fine. You could do this all in a text editor, which I'll show you after this. So I talked about the three different ways of customizing it, right? So there's the color, the angle, and then the length of the animation. All right, so let's start by changing these two colors. These look a little weird, right? They have these 6 little digit little characters. That's essentially a different way of saying what specific color you want. I'll also be including a little resource in the description. So it looks something like this, essentially. It has a little color picker. You could find whatever color you find like most appealing and copy this code into your file. Okay, so we're going to switch this pink and light blue over to a light green and yellow. Okay, so that's our first one. We're customizing the color. And for the angle, we can make it come in at, like, let's say we'll have it come in at a 45-degree angle. This one, something like one of these. You could keep toying around with whatever angle you want. And then let's say we want this to go really fast. So before we had an animation duration of 4 seconds, we can change that here and make it 2 seconds. So it's really fast. So I'm going to save it here, and I'm going to essentially refresh and update the current border that we have here. And now, as you can see, it's going within 2 seconds back and forth between this green and yellow. Maybe I'll pick a darker green so you guys could see it a little bit better, or maybe a different color altogether. I'll go with this. I don't know what kind of color it is, but this looks really nice. And that's a good part about this too. You know, you don't have to keep changing things and ask someone else to do it, or like the video. You could change these things on the fly. But as you can see here, I'm now changing the color so it's diagonal, going from that way to that way and back and forth with the first color and the second color. Now, the cool part about this is that we could add kind of as many colors as we really want. So let's toy around with some stuff. So I can have a first color. I can have second color. And then I'll play with third color. If I wanted to add a third color, all I'd have to do is add a comma, the pound sign, and then, or the hashtag sign, and then add my 6-digit number, right? So it's a little consistent. So if I click save here and I refresh the animated border, you'll see how we have this really cool effect, how it goes from the blue to the red to the orange. If we wanted to, we can change the angle to, let's say, 105 degrees, and we'll make this really, really slow. So it'll be super subtle as it updates. I'll click save here, and let's update this border. Now we have this really subtle effect of it going from that first color, to the second color, to the third color. And it looks really, really nice. So I also wanted to show you guys that this is really easy to edit on a regular editor as well. So let me pull that up. Okay, so right here, I opened it up in a notepad. I just looked for the file, and I found it. I just had to make sure it was all files I was looking for. And it's literally the same exact thing here that we have in this notepad. And I added these little comments so you can quickly figure out what where that little piece is you want to edit. So if I wanted to add a fourth color here, let's add white. And I could click save here, and I'll make this make it even longer. Let's make it 20 seconds. So it'll go back and forth within 20 seconds. So let's save that there, and you can see that here it's updated as well. So it could be a fancy editor if you have one, or it could be something as simple as a notepad. It's really good. So now let me refresh the border here so you guys could see it. I click OK. Now you see it's taking a lot longer. A nice diagonal orangish red. You can play with so many different colors, and then eventually it turns into the white, and it's going to go back into reverse and slowly do its thing. It is really nice, and you can customize it to maybe like the season is something I like to customize it to, or if there's like an event or whatever your brand colors are. I think it's really, really cool the different ways you could update and customize. So really quickly, before I'll let you guys go, I want to give you guys some quick resources. Suppose you guys don't have an amazing color choice, right? Maybe it's like, I like these colors, but maybe they don't work well together. They kind of have these other colors here that help you out. If you want to, they're essentially complementary colors. I'll leave pretty much the URL to this in the description below. And then there's another site that I like to use when using front-end development stuff, but also works for this too. These are like trending color palettes. So they're colors that kind of work well together. You can kind of pick the ones you like, and just have it work. It's really easy. All right, so now we're going to go over how to actually add it to a scene, just in case you don't know. For this instance, let's make a brand new scene. And then now I'm going to add a browser source. We're going to call it testing. We're going to call it testing. And click OK. And now what we want to do is click on local file. And this is going to allow us to browse our local files and find where we actually saved those two files you either downloaded or you made your own files. Now, all I want to do is find where I saved it, and I want to include the index file, not the style, the index. I'll double click it, and then you can make any size you want, and we'll click OK. And now we have our border essentially, right? The next step would be to add our camera. So let's add our camera. This is what it'll say for me specifically, since my camera is currently in use. So to kind of center it, make it super easy, a quick tip is to do an edit, transform, center to the screen for my camera, and then edit, transform, center to the screen again for the second one, for the testing one, or whatever the border is. Now, if I want to make it smaller, I can click Alt, kind of drag these so it's a little tinier. So it's a little bit even Steven. I could right click, transform, and center it again so it's slightly more uniform on each side. And you can keep doing it until you feel happy with how you want it. So I can keep doing it a little tiny bit more, and I can transform it again. I can do center to screen. And now it's essentially how we wanted it. I could group these together and move them wherever I want. I could, scale them down together in that specific group. I can group them together. But yeah, that's about it. That's essentially my quick way of making this animated border that's super easy, simple, and you can customize it however you want. And that about sums up how to make the animated gradient border. Sorry if I skipped something. Please ask any questions in the comment section below, or stop by my streams. I stream on Twitch, usually every night around 9 p.m. Eastern time. Especially if you have questions, drop a comment below. You can find me streaming on Twitch. If you want more videos, feel free to sub to me on YouTube. But yeah, please let me know. Drop a comment. Drop your your Twitch stream or your YouTube stream or your video. Be like, hey, look, this is what I did with your tutorial. I'd love to see what you guys do. There's an infinite amount of things you could do with the border, so I'm looking forward to what you guys end up making. You guys have a good one. Take it easy.